you're on record as on both sides of the charter school issue. How would you would you vote yes or no on the parent trigger bill that's being proposed right now?
Give me some more details about what the parent trigger bill is.
Guys, the parent trigger bill, do I have time?
Since he asked you the question.
Fantastic. The parent trigger bill, I don't know how many of you all have seen Won't Back Down, but it allows local people in the school, local parents in the school system, when a school system is failing, to trigger parent trigger, to trigger it to become a charter school if that school is not meeting academic standards.
Okay, Scott, do you have a suggestion to the question?
Yes, I do.
Okay, all right.
Actually, sorry. But anyway, I believe the basic question is, first and foremost, I want to answer the part about being on both sides of the charter issue. I've always supported parental choice. I stood in front of the school board last year when I was running for office, and I said, I support school choice. I don't know where you got that idea from. Quite honestly, I stood there in front of them, and that's what I said to them in public, on the record. I support school choice. What I've said is that we need to end the polarization in our community. We need to begin working together. And what I've also said is that I'll never degrade our public school system that's serving the needs of tens of thousands of our kids really well for the benefit of school choice. Because I think that our local public school system is doing a good job for tens of thousands of students in our community. What has happened is there are some people that have figured out that environment is just not the best for their child, and they should be empowered. And so I'm for the maximum amount of parental empowerment that you can get. So yeah, I would support that idea, so long as the parents were able to follow that process in an organized way.
Okay, Scott, now you may ask Brian a question.
Mr. Lawrence, you said earlier tonight, who we are at home is who we are in public. I was made aware of a traffic stop that you had recently where you had run a stop sign and began to berate a public police officer. And it appears that you tried to call the mayor of Holly Springs, a very honorable person, to talk your way out of the ticket and to actually intimidate the police officer. After you left, you came back, and you got into an argument with two police officers that time. And they had to explain to you that you had a court date for that very purpose. You said in the video that you were going to go rip down the stop signs. That's who you were in public that day. You tried to use political influence with your relationship with the mayor for your own personal gain. How can we trust you as a public servant over the really big issues when you tried to use basically what was a politically corrupt motive or move to benefit you personally?
Wow, that's quite an accusation. Let me tell you what happened that day. A roundabout, most of you all are familiar with the roundabout. They're designed to not have stop signs to keep traffic moving. They're supposed to have yield signs. I didn't call Tim Downing as the mayor. I called him as a developer of the neighborhood. And I said, Tim, this was actually a roundabout in my actual neighborhood. The police had set up a trap inside my neighborhood to catch people who did not stop at a stop sign there. Folks, I called Tim Downing and I said, Tim, when y'all were developing this neighborhood, why did you put a stop sign at a roundabout? And he said, well, it was government regulation. They would not let us build, they would not let us finish this neighborhood unless there were stop signs at those intersections. Folks, this is just another example of government regulation gone wild. I went to court. I paid that ticket because there was a stop sign there. But should there be a stop sign there? Absolutely not. And that was the only discussion I had with those police officers. And they agreed with me. They said, you're right, a roundabout does not typically have a stop sign. And my HOA, I asked the mayor, I said, what process do I have to do to get these stop signs removed? And he said, go to the HOA, have them petition the city, and the city will gladly take them down. We're in the process of that right now. I know I'm not above the law. Absolutely. I went down, I paid that $140 ticket. I should have went to court and protested that, but there was a stop sign there, and they were right. I'm one of you. If you elect me, you're gonna figure, excuse me. The personal attacks in this race are just unreal.
Okay, all right.